Hello, and how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good. And hello to everyone watching this edition of our recording. I am Reverend Jide Macaulay. I'm the founding pastor of House of Rainbow Metropolitan Community Church, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm actually in England at the moment, and it's actually Easter weekend, and we just want to say Happy Easter to everyone out there. And of course, with me here is a dear friend of mine, Simon Tuck, and we're going to be talking about Easter. And the other thing is that people always, want to know more about House of Rainbow. House of Rainbow is a church that is welcoming to lesbians, gay, bisexual, and transgender. In fact, everyone is welcomed. Our friends are welcomed, our allies are welcomed, and it's a Bible-believing ministry. And I want you to believe that. So we're going to be talking about Easter. And how have you spent your Easter so far, Simon?
Well, this year it's more of a chance to have a bit of a rest.
Okay.
And, enjoy some quiet time.
Oh, fantastic. And of course, the Easter weekend often starts on Friday through to Monday, and which is a time that signifies the death and the crucifixion and the reason back to life of Jesus Christ. So what does Easter mean for you?
It's a chance for us to do some reflection.
Okay.
For me, Easter always starts on Thursday.
Okay.
So Maundy Thursday.
Yeah.
It's when I was a lot younger.
Mm-hmm.
Going to church and celebrating Maundy Thursday in the evening and going to vigil mass and always was the start of Easter. But it's always a time for reflection for me.
Okay. I think there's a lot of things around Easter as well. It often, for many religious, Christian communities in particular, it actually starts at the beginning of Lent. Mm-hmm. And that's the time they go into fasting for 40 days. And then, of course, Monday, Thursday is when Jesus Christ gathered at the upper room with his disciples and shared the Holy Communion, which is very, very important. Okay. And, but, the other thing about being a Christian as well is that, and also being gay or a ministry that reaches out to gay people, is that there's a lot of religious communities that says no, sexuality, homosexuality and spirituality don't mix. What's your take on that?
I can understand a lot of people would think that. My church don't know I'm gay, and it's one of those, I guess, areas of society which they never really used to touch upon. So, if there was anybody that was gay in the village, then, it was very much hidden, wasn't talked about, so you never really knew. So I always kept my sort of sexual belief and whatever, I did around that, totally separate from church. So I went to church to worship and to sing, and that was always very separate to the fact that I was gay or
I think you said something about being gay in the village, and of course for many people in a place like Nigeria, they often think that they are the only gay in the village, which is a phrase from a very popular sitcom, and again, we have a ministry that welcomes all people, regardless of their sexual orientation, but it's a ministry with a primary focus to welcome gay and lesbian people. And just to say that on the 6th of April this year, an 11-year-old boy committed suicide in Massachusetts in the US. Mm-hmm. And he committed suicide because he was bullied for being gay or perceived to be gay. And of course, it all happened around the Easter period, which is very painful for his family. Mm-hmm. What message do you have for people that bully or for people that are being bullied? How do you feel that they can work towards reconciling sexuality and spirituality? Or is that a big question?
It's a very big question, but I think, bullying in schools has been going around for many years. And I think it takes very strong and courageous teachers and staff of schools to really fight up against people that bully, mm-hmm. whether it's about children being gay and their sexuality, or them not partaking in certain things, or because they reject trying to be part of a gang, and all these other things. And I think society these days has so many strong things going around, you know, our cities and so forth, and there's a lot of pressure on our young children to get involved in certain things that perhaps they don't want to, and sometimes it's very difficult for them to obtain information about certain things and where they can get help and things like that. But I mean, yes, bullying is very bad, and you know, I think younger generation is now sort of coming out of the closet a lot earlier and sort of acknowledging their sexual beliefs and what they believe in, and you know what they're interested in finding out more. Whereas, you know, when I was a lot younger, you wouldn't really have children of, you know, that sort of age coming out openly saying they're gay. It was something that really people were holding back until they were, you know, an adult, you know, even over the age of 20. But, you know, that's just a sign of the times, really, of how our society's changing. And, you know, these sorts of pressures are now affecting, you know, much younger children, and our teachers and parents need to do more to help and protect them.
Well, indeed, you know, we send our condolence to the family of Carl Joseph Walker Hoover, a young 11-year-old gay boy who committed suicide on the 6th of April. When I got the news about it, I was actually emotional about the loss. And I think that it's time that we begin to talk more about acceptance and tolerance and, you know, being open around our sexual orientation. Of course, the other thing is information. We have a website that we've put up, Spirituality and Sexuality.ning.com. It's a website where we share discussions, we share devotions and prayers, and ask questions about spirituality and sexuality. Okay, Simon, there's a poster right behind us that says "Some people are gay, get over it." It's one of the campaigns by Stonewall, and you know, they've made T-shirts, they've made, you know, door hangers, they've made so many things to get the message out there. What do you feel about the message "Some people are gay, get over it"?
It's part of our life, and there are many misbeliefs about what gay people are all about. At the end of the day, gay people are regular people like everybody else. They have equal rights with everybody else, and people need to get over that stigma about sort of phobias about gay people or what they believe gay people are all about. And it is time to sort of, you know, get rid of these history elements of all of this sort of nonsense, and it's time to get over it and let us all, you know, be equal and one.
You know, I mean, you've definitely had experiences and good friends, you know, across the continent, in Africa, in Nigeria. You know, there's a popular notion that homosexuality is a Western import to Nigeria. What do you think about that statement? And I really want you to be honest. Does it really annoy you?
It doesn't annoy me, but it's, from my experience, it's totally untrue.
Okay.
I think homosexuality is all over the world. In the Western world, we're getting more acquainted with it, more used to it, and people are finding it easier to express the fact that they're gay and to express it in their everyday life, and, you know, when they go out. In Africa, for instance, it's there. It has been for many, many years, but it's not open in the sense that, you know, you go out on the street and you see lots of gay people doing, you know, holding hands and doing all those sorts of things that, you know, perhaps the stigma about gay people would show. But, you know, in my experience going to Nigeria as many times as I have over the last 10 years, you know, there are lots of gay people, but they are struggling to be able to be open about it and to tell their parents and their friends and to share their feelings with each other. So it's very underground right now, and, you know, and I'm sure it will be for a long time until, you know, we start acknowledging things like this poster.
Fantastic. We're going to carry on sharing, more about, our sexuality, and we're going to come back again shortly after this break. But if you want to follow on, just, log on to our YouTube /House of Rainbow. We'll come back in a few minutes.